Speaking to Toby again from Avantasia. Toby, thanks for taking the time to talk to me tonight.
Thanks for talking to me. Not many want to do that. No, thank you. Thank you. It's an honor. Pleasure's all mine.
Oh, anytime you want to call, you know where I am. A lot's happened to the world since the last Avantasia album. So explain to me and everyone who cares to listen what you were up to when it all turned to shit. And, you know, were you in the middle of a tour? Had you just finished a tour? How was the timing for you?
We had just finished a tour, a very successful tour. We were on a wave. We were on an uphill. I mean, everything was going better and better for Avantasia. And I had just, I had just begun to build a studio. I had commissioned a company to build a studio in our house, or to improve my old studio. And we were in the middle of construction work when they said, oh, there's a virus and it's dangerous. In the beginning, I thought, yeah, of course, like so often. But it turned out to be really a serious issue, and everything shut down. And here I was with an expensive new studio, and which I had built to invest in the future and to have a nice working retreat. And I thought, okay, now you have a nice studio, or you're going to have a nice studio and no business anymore. But it turned out to be a blessing. The studio turned out to be a blessing, because when everything, everything fell asleep or turned to shit, as you put it, I had a place to hide away. Yeah. And to focus on what makes me happy, and to disappear in my own little world, and to encounter my invisible friends, my muses and inspirations, and the specters and spirits that help me to enter a different world, my own world. And the Moonflower Society, in a way, those characters. I built a studio where I was on my own with them, and that helped me. But of course, it was mentally challenging, at least at times, definitely. But we can't change it. I'm not a person to complain about things. Things are what they are. You can't change them anyway. So you make the best out of it. And I try to see. I mean, it's difficult with this Corona shit. To see the positive sides of it, because there's hardly any. But I have to say, if there's one positive aspect about it, is that for the first time in probably 25 years of a career, or 30 years now, I didn't feel anybody wanted something from me. I didn't feel any pressure, any expectations, because everybody was busy with their own problems in business. And nobody asked me for, oh, when's the new Avantasia album coming out? When are you coming to this place? When are you coming to that place? Oh, could you hurry a little bit? What about Ed Guy? Nobody was bothering me. I was on my own, and that kind of helped me to reconnect with the pure joy of music, I have to say.
You would have ended up with a lot more time than you would have had in the past to create new music. Did you overthink it? Did you have to sort of pull back and say, hang on, this is too much, and take a break and maybe come back to it? Or did you just totally immerse yourself and just keep going with it?
No, I didn't overthink it. I mean, some people would say with my mental capacities, there's absolutely no risk to overthink anything. But no, but I really didn't overthink it. Most of what I do is really based on intuition and instinct. And I'm not a big thinker. I don't think that much when I'm creating music. I just let a lot of people ask me, oh, how did you come up with that? And how did you come up with that? And what's the concept behind this? And what did you think? And what was your intention? And most of the time it's just, oh, I went in there and I wanted to play music, and I had some thoughts. Of course, about the lyrics, I think a lot. And I have to say, I think a lot. I do think a lot. But when it comes to playing music, I always want to let my intuition and instincts take over, and I didn't overthink anything. I don't think so.
Okay, now, as usual with Avantasia albums, the guest list is long and impressive. Was all this done remotely with all these people involved, or did they come in to your studio? How did it go?
No, it was all done remotely, and we had worked like that before. I think since the first Avantasia album, the Metal Opera, even then, most of the stuff was done remotely. Most of the stuff was done in so many different studios, everybody working on their own or renting out a place in their environment. It was the same here, and for obvious reasons, because on previous records, I always had, for example, Jon Lande or Jeff Tate. They came to our places and we did it together and recorded everything together and went through the performance and the different passages. But this time, for obvious reasons, that was not an option. Still, I think Avantasia is not one of those projects that you have so many of where, with 20 singers, 15 bass players and 78 guitar players and everybody working in their own studio. And then it's put together and released on Frontiers Records. It's really, there are those projects and many of them are really good, I have to say. But Avantasia has always been more of a, I don't want to say band thing, because I don't know if it could be really a band, but it's more than just one of those anonymous all-star projects that are just being put together, everybody working remotely, people not knowing each other. I think everybody who's on that record knows pretty much everybody else who's on that record. And the big advantage is most of us, we have toured together. I mean, I think there's only two singers on that. No, there's one singer on that record that has not toured with us. That's Floor Jansen. I think the rest of the people, they know each other, everybody who's on the record. And it's a band and family thing. And Floor knows many of us as well. Because she's been in the business forever. And here's another little thing. She's part of the family because her previous band, After Forever, they always used to work at Gate Studio in Wolfsburg. And we were in the same working environment in a way. She's been working with Sasha and with Miro on many records of her career. So it's a small and incestuous world.
So this Friday, we've got a paranormal evening with the Moonflower Society gracing our presence. You must be excited for that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think we've done a great job, and I'm very, very happy with the record. And I would probably be a bit nervous if I had done something that I would not be really convinced of. Yeah. I'm very happy with everything. So yes, I'm excited to finally share it with the world, to unleash the beast, but not nervous, I have to say.
Good answer. I'll just give you some feedback. Favorite track for me is Arabesque.
Okay.
That's an epic, that one. I really like that one. You couldn't have made it any longer, could you?
I mean, I've done longer tracks, but Arabesque it's a 10-minute song. I love it as well. I think in general, most of the songs are a little shorter than the average song on previous records, and that was something I did intentionally. Yep. Because in the past, I realized especially when doing set lists for live shows, I realized how long our songs are and so I thought maybe it's good to not beat around the bush and have some real brief tracks that hit the nail on the head. And that was a goal of mine. With Arabesque, it was one of those songs. And this song was pretty much a leftover from our Moonglow writing session or an arrangement session. Just the lyrics were not there. But on Moonglow, we already had so many long songs that I put this one on the back burner. Now, with Arabesque, what I like about this song so much is that the song takes all the time it needs. And sometimes you need to do that as an artist, even though it is not what the spirit of the times, what reflects the spirit of the times. it sometimes takes 3 minutes, especially in the beginning. I think it takes 2.5 minutes or something until the vocals start. It's a very long intro, and every marketing specialist would say it's not a good idea to release music like that these days. Yeah, fuck you. I don't care. It's like sometimes, if Richard Wagner, if you would have told something like this to Richard Wagner, he would have gone insane. And not just Richard Wagner. I mean, ask Steve Harris. It's the same thing. Sometimes you just need to let a song breathe and give it the time. And I love to do those things. It's not really fashionable. It doesn't really reflect the zeitgeist, I have to say, but it is damn important to sometimes do these kinds of things and make a statement and give the song what it needs.
I agree 100%. Right. When are you taking this on the road?
I don't know the form of the tour. We're going to do some touring. We have just confirmed Brazil next spring. I think there's going to be some more shows in South America. I guess there's going to be Asia. There is talk about Australia, I have to say. I cannot confirm anything. I don't know if it's going to happen, if it's economically possible, because bringing a juggernaut like Avantasia over to Australia, I know it's great to have such a remote island, to be living on such a remote island, because the rest of the world can go fuck themselves and you're doing your own thing, which I love. I can absolutely relate to that. Absolutely. But it makes it a bit hard for this weird German to bring his juggernaut over because it's so far away. But if it wasn't so far away, your island would be fucked like every other place in the world. So be happy you're so far away. And we try to make it happen. And as for Europe, I don't know. Europe is in dire straits these days, economically, politically. It's everything with the pandemic. Everything is a bit difficult over here. So I guess we're going to do some shows. I'm not sure it's going to be a tour as it used to be with 40 shows or 35 shows back to back. It's difficult to predict right now. So I don't really know. I want to play as much as possible with this album because I think the album deserves it. And I think those songs will work great live.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you noticed a bit of a log jam happening with venues? Because everybody's been cooped up for a couple of years. Suddenly the gates are open and every band wants a tour at the same time. So you get venues unavailable. Have you noticed that happening there?
Yeah, I have, but a lot of things getting cancelled again, which means the log jam is postponed. It's just going to be another one next year because now with the numbers of COVID going up again, and of course some of the venues have been closing. All the bands want to go out and make some money because they have to. It is like that, and pretty much also what's been going on for quite a while is that the big global players in the rock concert business, they're not just booking shows, they're also buying property and they're buying concert venues. And then you either sell your soul to the devil too, and you're part of their family and their business, and you get great dates, or you're a little independent Don Quixote tilting at windmills, flicking the bird at the system, and you have to deal with what's left. You have to take the crumbs, and you get, there's a Monday, Avantasia, you say. There's a Monday night in December 2025. We have it in the lobby of the lobby of the venue. We can set up a little stage. It costs you 12,000 an hour. It is a little bit like that. That was an exaggeration, but that's also part of the problem. If it was easy, everybody would do that, and then it would be boring.
Hey, Toby, looking forward to the new album coming out on Friday, a paranormal evening with the Moonflower Society. Best of luck with that. Thanks for chatting to me tonight. And when you go out on the road, hope it's magnificent for you. Maybe we'll see you down here again someday soon.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Thanks for spreading the word. And I hope to see you on the road down in Australia.